Hey, welcome to Slow News Day Live. My name is Steve Boykin, and we are here in beautiful Boulder Creek, California, where the flannel shirt is our state flag, the pit bull is our state bird, and cannabis is our state flower. I am joined tonight at my fucking house.
Woo!
Once again, but with Lindsey Scharmyn from Rogueways and my good buddy Benjamin Balderson from Odin's Alchemy. And holy shit, we're all just hanging out. It was my kid's birthday party. We're fucking cutting loose, chopping it up. Fucking thanks for hanging out.
Got some work done.
Somebody, oh yeah, that's right.
We got some work done. Help Lindsay on her little road trip.
It's so badass. Steve just built me my bed platform for the back of my van. It has a lift up hinge container so I can like shove out of there. And then it has two huge, what are they, 4 feet long?
Yeah.
4 foot long drawers from the back so I can tuck all my shit in there. And it is pretty deluxe. I threw a gigantic mattress on it, and now there's maybe 12 inches of space for me to sleep in between that and the ceiling.
But when she gets to Colorado and meets that fag Johnny, who was supposed to be here,
out a mattress with him.
but she's gonna swap out mattresses and get his and move along.
I think he just learned that right now.
He just learned that.
I didn't. Okay,
Surprise!
so I made it so she could put her life in underneath the platform, and then didn't account for the fact that the mattress and then the second fucking mattress on top of that mattress is 2 fucking feet off the ground. So there really isn't a lot of like humping room in it right now. And ultimately, like I tried to design shit with that in mind, you know, but
Steve didn't know that I am a nun. I practice that thing that nuns practice. Celibacy.
That thing that nuns practice.
I'm chaste. I am very chaste.
Right.
Good on you. I am not. We celebrated my 3rd child's birthday.
Sorry.
No,
Also
it's all good.
Your 3rd child's birthday?
Oh yeah. No, it was my son Waylon's 7th birthday today. We had people over. It was good times. Very good times. Very, very fucking gnarly.
Fantastic.
Super rad. We got to meet. This is Ben, and Christy is right off camera here. Ben's love, and we got to meet the other Ben and Christy from the alternate universe. But somehow the universes collided so that both could exist in the same space at the same time. So you broke the laws of physics today. The universe didn't collapse. We're all still here.
Either that or tomorrow none of us will remember this shit and Shaq will be president and
Who are you people?
the Berenstain Bears will be the Berenstain Bears again. And
did you just say Berenstain?
I don't fucking know.
Are you a Stein or a Stein?
I really don't have an opinion on that. Really, the only weird one I have is I swear I remember that fucking movie with so back in the 80s and 90s, if a movie came out,
wasn't fucking.
If a movie came out, another movie just like it always came out from a competing state. Always. Yeah. And I remember distinctly thinking I didn't want to see either one of them, but one of my friends was talking about the movies, and I was like, if I was gonna go see one of them, I'd go see the one with Sinbad, because at least he was a comedian.
Which movies? You haven't told us.
I don't even remember. It was Shazam and Kazam or something.
Sinbad.
Like that.
It was Sinbad.
It was Sinbad.
But Sinbad wasn't. It was fucking Shaq.
But they both did. I distinctly
Sinbad was a pirate.
This is what I wonder if like
Sinbad he was in a pirate.
I remember the. I also distinctly remember him being in an equal movie to Shaq. I distinctly remember. I remember having a conversation about it, and I didn't see either movie.
But I didn't see either movie.
Well, they both looked horrible. The dude told me he was gonna go see the one with Shaq, and I was like, if I was gonna watch one of them stupid movies, it'd be the one with Sinbad, because at least he's a comedian. I didn't want to watch either one. They both look stupid.
This is my problem as a Sagittarius, is as soon as you guys were driving, I'm like, yeah, I can see that. I think I remember, but it's just because I can like share your mental space with you, and I can't actually. I have no idea what happened. And now Steve describes like the other one. I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that one too.
Oh, I distinctly remember the pirate also.
I don't trust my memory. That's all I'm trying to say. So this is what I wondered. Like, so how many of the Mandela effect things are that where there actually is both versions, and we were just only promoting one or only have records of one or something or whatever.
I would
And then
like
how many are people just misremembering shit because our memories are crap?
Reality's fluid.
I would like to
Pretty
go
weird.
on record as not trusting Ben's memory.
Strike down.
That's where I'm at.
It bites
totally
me
where I'm at.
every
It
time.
looks like
Listen,
Jack
Steve,
is in the
I
chat.
don't fucking.
I don't fucking dab.
I don't have any idea why you would think I have any kind of a memory issue at all, you dick.
I'm just an asshole like that, I suppose. I don't know.
Okay, but my favorite moment of the night was when Ben and Ben decided that they would suddenly swap clothing and party.
It was an epic trade.
The two naked Bens in the house.
Well, Ben was wearing a shirt that said the dog father,
And Ben
We
is the
can't
dog
see that.
father. Wait,
and I am definitely the dog father.
yeah.
And I
He
said,
now has your sweatshirt.
and then I was wearing my Punisher sweater, and he's like, "Well, give me your sweater." So we swap.
So rad. Just sudden clothes swapping mid-party. I love it.
7-year-old party.
7-year-old birthday party, yes. Well, this is the coolest 7-year-old birthday party I've ever been to. Not that I've been to like a lot, but like kids' birthday parties are often like a ton of kids, and all the parents are like desperately trying to like keep them happy and like have them all play games together. And this was like a bunch of really cool adults and a bunch of really cool kids got together, and the kids went and played, and the adults went and played. And I'm like, this is how I feel like parties used to be when I was a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we've
Before
gotten
they were helicopter
psychotic.
parents.
Yeah. And it was really cool.
But on the
So
same token,
congratulations.
you look, pretty much everyone at the party besides Lindsay and Christy look like me and Steve. Like we just crawled out of a mountain hole somewhere.
Christy and I also crawled out of holes. We just do it with
Perfect.
style. Yeah.
Quick style over here.
Yes.
I gotta be somebody in the chat asking if we have debate thoughts. I gotta be 100% honest with you, man. I worked last night and these
On my
guys
van.
got here, and then I worked all day today on her van, and then it was my kid's birthday
if there's
party.
debate
I didn't watch
thoughts,
a fucking minute of those debates.
either.
I
Oh.
will
I trust
say
Barry's opinion that Tulsi Gabbard brought up cool things about saying we should be at war in other countries.
I will say this. I would be
I trust that
surprised
opinion.
if I could, not watching a moment of the debates, I would be surprised if I could not encapsulate the debates without having watched them.
Okay, try that.
I would be
and then
surprised
that
if
person can
I
tell
could
you
not
if it is.
encapsulate the
And
debates
you can tell me if I'm wrong
with
or not.
Monty
Bingo.
Python references.
The Ministry of Funny Walk.
Maybe
So-
there's 20 of them fuckers. Maybe a little bit of Benny Hill going on too.
I'm gonna guess that they minimize Joe Biden's time while maximizing the
Number of
marketing
kids he has
behind his
access to.
record.
Oh.
I'm gonna guess that they gave Pete Buttigieg a lot of floor space.
I
I'm
heard there
gonna
was a lot of Mexican families.
I'm gonna guess that most of the candidates were for good things and against bad things.
Orange Man bad.
Shocking.
And I'm gonna guess that like Bernie got a lot of redirecting the lines of like, why are you literally Hitler or Stalin, or why are you Robert Mugabe but way paler? Like
Were they
I'm
live
gonna.
last night?
But tonight was
Oh yeah, tonight I
uh,
forgot.
yeah
It's already
last
tonight.
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, last night, and I did hear that Tulsi Gabbard kicked some ass, and I heard she got some fucking shots, and I'm good with that, dude. I think somebody should be allowed to fucking throw a little bit of truth out on a debate stage. If anybody really shined, please let me know, and I'll fucking go watch some clips tomorrow and shit. Probably not of the debates, but of jackass comedians fucking sitting around making fun of and
Which is how
highlighting
you-
the debates.
Get the correct like analysis of the content anyway.
Everybody gets their news from comedians. My comedians let you know they're comedians up front,
Yeah,
instead of the fucking
absolutely.
jokers like fucking Jake Tapper who practice newsman face in the mirror.
Joe Biden. Joe Biden molests little children.
Joe Biden is a pedophile.
I'm gonna say it every time I'm
Uncle
on
Touchy
screen and
Joe.
his name comes up, just in case anyone didn't know.
Good old Uncle Joe.
This show has now been banned.
Yeah.
Shadow banned. Every platform.
Yes.
And suddenly they all.
So that
died.
one viewer that had the question, you were the only one watching. If you have any more questions, nobody
He
else
said
will watch.
he said Kamala lied her way to second place. Second place on stage or over because she would have to upstage fucking fake Native American
Elizabeth
Warren, who received over
Hold
$2
on, if we're
million
gonna-
from the securities and financial industries while she was crafting the Financial Protection Bureau that would ostensibly regulate.
But
we got to call her Kamala Prison Industrial Complex Harris then.
Camillery.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
thing
if we're gonna go with the Warren's fake native, then Kamala's.
I think when you criticize Elizabeth Warren, you forget that she has a vagina.
Oh yeah.
And
that's-
We're
that's
allowed
a
to criticize
valid-
those.
Yeah, it's a valid
Oh.
reason to just love her without question.
It's like the golden shield.
I'm pretty sure
You-
that I have evolved enough to where policies.
I thought you were going to say that. I'm pretty sure I've evolved enough that I have a vagina.
You know what? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a
This man
story.
built you a van story
I'm gonna
today.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you a story.
It's ma'am.
Alright.
Man.
This past weekend,
Steve thought
I
that he loves me a lot.
was out in the middle of nowhere camping, bunch of people, and there was a guy there who I had met years and years and years ago in front of a now defunct, although soon to be resurrected music hall called Don Quixote's in Felton, California. So, this guy recognizes me at the campground. He was like, "Hey man, I met you in front of Don, you're out back behind Don Quixote's with Willie T. Taylor from the Good Luck Thrift Store outfit, and you had some kick-ass moonshine." And I was like, yes, I did. He goes, "I remember because you fucking like made me look you in the eye and be like, I will not slam this, I will sip this, you know." And you told me that you would not be responsible for me if I gulped it and blacked out, but that you would run my pockets to make up for the loss of the shine. And that stuck out.
And that stuck out. And I just gotta say, man, I love you.
So this same guy, right? There's a couple hours later. And this guy had a little bit of DMT that he was mixing in a fucking tobacco vape thing.
Don't do this at
So
home.
it like got you a little floaty, but it didn't get you anywhere near from blast
You
off.
weren't seeing the
Allegedly.
elves. We're
Yeah,
seeing the elves.
no mechanical elves. He goes, "Man, I have not been out of the house in 2 years. I've not been away from my wife or my twins, and this is my first time out. I feel like I have a brand new vagina, and I'm gonna go test drive it."
I'm confused.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You guys go on your annual vagina test?
Kiss this puppy out. I'm just gonna point out that the
Like a
last
Catholic schoolgirl.
allegedly the last Eyes Open Network chat or discussion we had, I lost a couple viewers, and I'm interested to know how many you'll lose tonight.
Oh, you mean like subscribers?
Yeah, like there's
Oh,
like,
yeah?
I watched them drop off as we talked. I was like, goodbye.
Oh, shit.
Really? We
Yeah.
were pretty reasonable
I
on the
know.
last
I was
one,
like,
I thought.
I was like, if anything we talked about made you go, you should never have been here in the first place.
Yeah, all we were doing was talking about the government fucking murdering it. So you have like
Healthcare. Or
Oh
some
yeah, I
shit,
barely even talked for half.
Hardcore fucking-
about government.
hardcore fuck. Oh no, we
There
were.
was
that was a
something on that
different
show
thing.
we were supposed to talk about. We
Well,
never
that
did
was.
though, but I can't remember what it was.
'Cause I didn't even hardly say anything the whole first half. You
I
made
don't
a
know, maybe
comment-
that
you
was
made
a-
a comment about
may-
me not going off for like 15 minutes.
maybe we weren't talking enough like fucking lizard people and fucking I don't know.
I couldn't figure it out. Or maybe it was because we said that Joe Biden was a pedophile and Hillary
You didn't
Clinton
say
eats
that, did you?
babies. Maybe.
Did we mention Joe Biden's a pedophile?
Did we mention that Hillary Clinton eats babies? Have we done that on the show yet?
We did mention pedovores last show.
Pedovores. That's right, because Hillary Clinton eats babies. Never
Eating
forget.
babies.
We need one of those never forget stickers.
Never forget.
Right? The
Hillary
black and
Clinton's
white,
just
like a
chewing on the
memorial
baby.
stick. Never forget.
What we-
Hillary
what-
Clinton needs
Hold on,
babies.
no,
It's a good
it
bumper
shouldn't say
sticker.
that. It just should say forget. And then you remember that old poster for B where the chick's like part of her skin was ripped off and you could see like the reptile right here.
Oh, sure.
And then this half should be Hillary.
Yes,
Sure.
Like-
and a baby.
Yeah, and a
Yeah,
baby, and then
baby.
like a baby, yeah, like a baby leg,
Baby
you know,
leg.
like.
Now we're gonna lose. Now they're just gonna drop like
But
flies.
we've got some new customers who want to buy that sticker, so
Right?
it all comes out in the wash.
Go check that merch store that we don't have up yet.
It's coming soon.
Coming
I'm on
soon.
vacation.
Website under construction. I am not on vacation. I worked my fucking butt off today.
Hell
I
yeah,
did
you
help.
did.
I did help Steve work, but I mean, it wasn't.
I watched.
I was
them work.
basically an old glorified vice.
It was fucking very nice. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, brother.
The help.
I relaxed and watched them work at one of the most.
I know how to
peaceful-
hold pieces of wood together.
That shop though is amazing.
As
It's
is
like
Barry.
music studio. Yeah, Barry is amazing. Music studio. Like the community comes in and uses it. There's the shop that apparently people can use if they need to. There's a beautiful spring there.
Oh,
There's
no,
some
it's
dragonflies.
Steve's special.
I am
Yeah.
special.
Oh yes,
special.
Secret Society special.
Yes, Steve. This is some of the other news. Let's go through the Eyes Network news that we've got going on here. Not all of us are here. Derek Murphy and Claude Furry are both not here.
John Brisson is not
John
here.
Brisson.
No, it's just for the people who happen to have been in my
To-
living room.
Yeah,
like
this
half
is
an hour
unofficial,
ago.
sudden. I said
yeah.
no.
But for us, news for us, Lindsay started her road trip. And
Woohoo! I don't work anymore.
and quit her corporate
Yay.
her 9 to 5 on the wheel job, and she
Yes.
has gotten off the wheel. And
I got out from under the grindstone.
Steve joined a secret
People are
society and ate a child. And
I did not.
Allegedly, he
Eat a
didn't
child.
do that.
No children.
But he
were
won't
harmed.
tell us how he got initiated, so it could have happened. We don't know.
You'll never know.
exactly
Probably he was in a coffin jacking off. No one will ever know.
with an old man watching,
Yes.
also jacking off.
Yeah. Why do they do it? Why?
I was in a coffin.
You were.
I was not jacking off. Nor
He
were
wasn't
there
jacking
people
off,
around me
but-
jacking off. No one was
Not that he
jacking
could
off.
see.
Notice he did
Anywhere in
not
this
say
coffin.
anything about the old man watching, so he doesn't really know if that guy was jacking off or not.
That's true. So
The
weird.
coffin didn't have a lid, so I could tell if people were around.
We're
me.
jacking off or not.
Yeah, you would notice.
Right.
That would be a thing, and I probably would have not followed through with.
I'm not jacking
Yeah,
off.
well,
I'm just
probably.
this thing. You
So
know?
what were you doing?
I am
in
not
the
a
coffin,
bukkake
Steve?
target.
Yeah, what were you doing in the coffin? No comment.
Coffin stuff.
Stuff
Playing
in coffin.
dead.
Which is kind of weird because then basically them drawers are like two for midgets. Christy would fit in one.
Yeah, I know. I told Waylon that he could sleep in one, and then the hinge side was his timeout
True.
closet.
Right?
I-
That is so that I can sit in her van and go with her on her travels. You didn't
Now
know I'm
people
leaving
would
for a
talk
year,
about that.
baby.
And then when we murder a hooker, we can put her in the other one.
There you go.
Right? Right? Like that movie Dirty Work.
This is
Why is there a dead hooker in the trunk?
that's
so
just what
many dead
happens when you
hookers.
party.
Anybody have anything I actually want to talk about, or are we just gonna fucking get high? and
Okay,
shoot
well, this is
shit
the
for
other
a
cool
while?
thing about Barry's place where you guys built out the back of my van today was that it was and this connects to your secret society because it used to be a whorehouse on a marsh, which is already like, I'm not going to judge people who want to use their bodies to make money. That's cool, but probably like,
Everybody uses their body to make money.
that's a good point.
The weird part is people complain about a certain area, like coal workers who go in and get the fucking black lunged and just tear their body to shreds
That's
and
a good
kill
point.
themselves.
And it's also
I mean,
degrading, yeah.
seriously.
It's a really good point.
Yeah,
it's
so
back
I'm
to
not
the
sure.
point, though.
But it's kind of
But-
like nasty, and then it's on a marsh, which is like kind of nasty. But he's turned it into this beautiful place, and there's a plaque commemorating what it used to be, and it was put there by the Clampers, which is
It's
your
true.
place, your
It's true.
secret society that I've never
So-
heard of.
So Boulder Creek was a
Hello?
historical lodging. Are you
What the
serious
fuck?
right now? Oh, okay.
Oh,
Hello?
Here, here.
Um,
Yeah, ma.
Ben, here.
you're fucking kidding me.
Hi, Ben's mom.
Okay.
I can't even see you.
We're all gonna listen to you.
So
If
we're
you're
closer
gonna
to the
be,
farm.
if you're gonna have a fuck off.
Yeah, there's probably some kind of a problem if there's
Uh-oh.
about time of night on the farm. Sorry, I got a farm with animals. Oh, I just lost signal.
Live podcast.
Taking your spot. I was gonna say, I'm gonna stay in then.
Yeah.
So Boulder Creek itself, it was a logging camp. And we're talking 1850s, 1860s, 1870s.
And this is Christy. Hi.
And
They're
this
up
is
there.
Ben's wife, Christy. And so it was literally it was a fucking logging camp. So
Hello.
you had like
What's up, Aaron?
you know, a bar and a brothel. And at one point, Boulder Creek had as many brothels as it had churches. And if they tried to build another church, they would make another brothel. And if they tried to
hard to
fucking
learn.
protest the brothel, they would burn a fucking church.
Jesus.
So
Wow.
This
the
is a holy war, man.
the swamp house, which is what the brothel was called. Yeah, it was in a a marshy area, and if you can kind of tell from the back of Barry's that spring was
It's
always
still there,
It
yeah.
was just bubbling up from under the ground, and it wasn't developed. And so yeah, they had a little wooden plank that you had to walk across to get to the whorehouse, and you couldn't make it if you were hammered. So it was the only whorehouse in town that you had to be sober to go to.
Wow.
So those were like the
those must have been
probably
the high
yeah.
high price girls.
Right?
They get the best guys.
Yeah.
There's 4 jars.
Boulder.
Well, so wait, before I forget, that this was a logging community. Your friend came over today or yesterday and was telling us about,
I'll see you when-
there's these circles of redwoods, and they're young redwoods, but they're kind of in this almost perfect circle. And he was saying that's because under like mother log or whatever that had been cut down, and that stump is what they're all grown from. And so people call them fairy circles or whatever. And so you can look around and start to see that all the trees are in these little clumps that the loggers had cut down and they'd grown up out of. And they're really cool. But then he was also saying, this is the part that tripped me out the most, is that those stumps that are underground are worth like $15,000.
Oh, the
and
burl?
so
Yeah.
tweakers will be like
Oh,
out in
yeah.
the woods, like cutting up
Bro
fucking burls
poaching
from
in the
the-
middle of the
yeah.
night. Oh
and
yeah.
I'm like, tweakers out here are like industrious as fuck, because the tweakers I know just steal your tools out of the shed and like
Take the
No,
copper out of it. Take
Yeah,
the copper
take
out
the
of your air
copper out of your
conditioner.
These motherfuckers are out here with like deer spotlights and fucking portable band saws in
I
the
just see,
middle
like,
of the
packs
night,
of
fucking
tweakers,
crushing
like-
burl and shit. Yeah,
Oh, the burl's big
Yeah.
money. Redwood burl, that's huge.
that's
money.
crazy.
Wow.
Madrone burl.
You're right. That's
Even
very
more.
industrious for a tweaker.
Yeah.
It's very yeah.
Our
I'm kinda proud of
our
the tweakers in
hobos
Boulder
are
Creek.
industrious here. You do not see people like spare changing in Boulder Creek. They're all out fucking collecting cans and shit, fucking
That's awesome.
hanging out with the Mexicans and whatnot. They're we have industrious homeless people here.
Your homeless people, your tweakers are like
And I
top
s-
notch.
And I certainly would not normally answer a phone during a live thing, but my farm is unoccupied by me. And that was the person at my farm. So I have to, anything can go wrong, from electrical to my water doesn't work to one of my animals. I've got a goat getting ready to give birth. Any one of 100 things. So
Is everything good?
yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Just mom doesn't know how all the equipment works. And
But your mom is the most amazing, industrious woman who can make
absolutely.
an emergency look like nothing. She knows a solution to everything.
If Ben's mom was a Boulder Creek hobo,
Did you hear that, Ramona?
She would have a mansion
she
built
would
somewhere.
be doing she would be queen of the Boulder Creek hobo.
The Boulder Creek hobos.
There's
We
a
make her that
country
shirt,
song in
please.
there.
She's like, what?
Queen of the Boulder Creek hobos. She goes back to South Dakota.
Hi.
It's a crown made out of fucking pot plant.
Bottle caps.
Right.
Sitting on a
Brown
little
bags.
throne that's got pit bulls carrying it, like
Aw. For the record, Ramona does not smoke marijuana.
Yeah, my mom was actually a Baptist pastor. This is gonna crack most everybody up. My mom was a Baptist pastor.
Wow.
You're right.
Such a transition.
Yeah, I've been a bad influence.
No, you've been the best influence. She's awake now. That's seriously, how did she change?
Lots
Slowly.
of fighting
Yeah.
and like the things that I talk about, seeing them with her very own eyes, and that's the big deal with the things that I do is there's so much right now, and this is how you can tell that we're in an etheric time. There's so much talk and everybody knows, but nobody can do.
Yeah.
You know,
We were just talking about this earlier today. Like, no one, shoe repair places are dying, and I don't even remember what we were talking about that brought it up in the first place.
Basic
but
needs or
basic
something.
repairs, and like people who know how to get shit done are basically like going out of business. Oh, it was because we were talking about meat processing.
Oh yeah.
Like, where can you take a cow now to get? We had a place on Woodby Island called Sturvis Meats, and everybody would take their cows and their animals there. And then it's gone though, and like there's no one that took its place. As far as I know, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, there's nowhere to take your animal to get it processed anymore.
Yeah, no, we've got the Corralitas sausage market.
Why did I hear about it?
Somebody came over and was talking about it. Somebody was visiting.
You're talking about making it something weird into sausage.
Oh no, Barry said that one of his relatives is responsible for bringing boar over here.
That's what it was.
Oh yeah, that's what it is with the
Dude has
conversation.
the best stories. Like, I just want to
he's got
interview
some good
Barry
stories.
next.
Yeah, that they brought over the Russian boar, a judge and some relative of his.
Yeah.
His
Because they were
family,
tired of
like,
hunting
owns half
deer,
the
so
state.
that's why
Yeah.
all the boars are ripping up half of the state.
They're fucking they're down over like a couple of ridges that way.
Around my
They
place,
come
they kind
tearing.
of go on a rotation.
Fucking those guys are assholes, dude.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to shoot them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think you're still allowed to shoot them here. If you
have like
ever
a
have,
duty to shoot them.
if you ever have, yeah, dude, boar are fucking gnarly.
I don't shoot them.
They are.
Unless you're attacking my farm, I don't shoot.
I got a buddy here named Todd who fucking used to do boar hunting competitions, and the boar hunting competition is you, a dog, a 6-shooter, and a fucking knife
Wow.
against the pig.
Damn.
Yeah,
That is
A pig will kill you.
yeah,
for
Yeah.
sure.
and your dog.
For sure. Yeah, pigs usually kill a dog.
Damn.
That
Yeah.
big boar, they're nasty.
No,
Your
that dude
dog's
is crazy.
trained, you're
That
trained,
dude's still
like,
pretty
this is
fucking
a
crazy. He fucking
boar hunting. Jeez.
he used to be a bull rider too.
So he was already nuts.
Got his back broke. Now he's a crane operator,
Interesting.
heavy equipment operator.
Interesting.
Yeah, in a place where like you've got to have a jack stand down and then maybe floating part of it off over a cliffside, and then you're
Dude, the construction in this area, when you're already like on these hairpin turns that are going up and down mountains, and then there's like a whole
And the
construction
road pieces
crew.
that just fall off and
Yeah, and I'm like, these people are like brave. Like, they have the best views. There's valleys and mountains like going stretching on that they're like working in front of that, and that seems amazing. Or like on the coast when I was coming down, same thing. There'd be like road crews up there. I'm like, at least your view is nice, but fucking that cliff, like, what the fuck?
I know. I keep wondering, like, if you guys had a stiff rainstorm, if you'd either be able to get down the hill or back up the hill again, like the goat trail could wash out.
Yeah, yeah. Your driveway is like a treacherous mountain pass.
It is. Like, you might need some llamas or alpacas and burros.
I was shocked that Google Maps got me here.
I know,
Right?
I was like,
too.
am I still supposed to be going this way? Like, what?
What the hell?
Yeah.
Did I just pass 2 kids with banjos?
Well, because I like your
That
house
was
is like
Steve
remote,
and
and it's
Jacob.
like, but then it's not even that remote because town is like right there.
Right.
It's just like the weird geography of here or something.
Yeah, that's because it's up in mountains. It's up in the mountains. so
Yeah.
the town's down there, and not a whole lot of houses. Well, actually, quite a few.
Quite a
further out,
few,
too.
yeah.
Wow,
It's pretty
this
packed
place is
in.
packed.
Very
Like my
good
mountain's
area.
got like 6 people. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are their neighbors so close? That guy's like
You guys-
20 acres from me.
You guys aren't from the Bay Area, but San Francisco Bay has a lot of places that are like that, where they just build up into the hills, and it's like crazy the way the architecture doesn't slide off the mountain.
Yeah.
But they just totally, Yeah.
Well, it also makes you really have more of an appreciation for why these people down here are so scared of earthquakes.
Yeah.
Because when your house is built on something like this, and there's a neighbor's house that's like 20 feet above you, like that's
You can't really put
intimidating.
anything. You can't really do foundations here.
Right.
You can't. You're going into fucking, sand a lot of times.
You do,
Sand,
like,
stone.
Posts
So
on.
yeah, pier and post is pretty much it.
Wow.
And a lot of the reason the houses are stacked right on top of each other, especially like right in town, after the '06 earthquake, they logged this place out to rebuild San Francisco. And then right when the depression hit, if you opened a bank account at a certain branch in San Francisco, they gave you an acre parcel here in Boulder Creek to build
Wow.
a vacation house. So this whole area was just,
Now, what year did you
vacation
say that
cabins.
was? What year did you say that was?
06.
2006 or
No,
1906?
1906.
I wanted to clarify because I was pretty sure, but I thought you said 2006, and I thought that was
So we did have the depression right after 2006
right.
too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted him to clarify because
Yeah.
it makes a difference.
But that's why there's so many little acre parcels and people just like tucked in everywhere, I guess.
Yep. Because there weren't a ton of people in little vacation rentals, and then a handful of families owned vast tracts of land. So
That's
yeah, I mean, you're talking about. I mean, when you're talking about 500 acres,
You caught the
it's,
reference,
couple
Lindsay.
thousand.
We're talking
Okay.
about tits. You're
Monty
talking
Python.
about-
Come on,
Sorry, I missed the titties reference. My bad.
the girls got it.
My bad.
I didn't even hear it. I was listening to Steve talk.
Vast tracts of land is what he said, and that's one of the lines from the Monty Python movie when he's like, "But he's trying to convince his gay son."
I just want to sing. No.
Christy and I just did our first Ren Fest a couple weeks ago, and it was her first Ren Fest ever that she'd ever been at. And,
Ever, and we were as vendors.
yeah. That was, she
Oh,
started
man.
out as a vendor. Obviously, I've done a bunch of them, but yeah, they had actual Monty Python people going through there. And Christy, that was Christy's best. They even had to do the back
with the coconuts and everything.
Yes.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
Patsy.
Yes,
Patsy.
Patsy. They just needed Tim the Enchanter, and then everything would have been complete.
See, and then my daughter sent me the ram's horn, the singular ram's horn. So next time, next one, if they're around, then I'll come out and I'll be Tim the Enchanter.
Oh my God. You're such an
Ben the
enchanter.
Enchanter.
Yes.
Yes.
And we'll bring some pit bulls behind you, and they'll see that you enchant pit bulls.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could get a rabbit.
You don't need a rabbit.
But a child.
That was Waylon.
Who's the birthday boy?
I had never been to or really heard of a Renaissance festival until I got snuck into the campground to be employed at one.
Oh,
Like-
this is the world I'm in now.
It's kind of like
I was sitting up in Mount Hood, Oregon, and I was working at this like
Oh, schwanky.
Oh, Hood is gorgeous.
I was working in Sandy.
ooh, Sandy.
South of the Hood?
So like Portland, Mount Hood's over here, the Gresham, the 26 goes up to Mount Hood. Sandy's like halfway in between.
Okay.
And I was working at this fucking place called
Tiny.
Paola's Pizza Barn. The Paola family
That sounds
Not to be
owns
familiar.
mistaken
some
with
fucking
peyote.
tracts of land around there too, and a bunch of businesses and restaurants. And the pizza plate,
Were you talking about tits?
it said pizza and pasta in neon on the side of this big ass barn, except for the person who did the neon connected the P and the A in pasta, so it said pizza and Rasta.
Rasta. Yeah.
And it was a bunch of fucking just idiots that worked up in that place, and everybody was a fucking bad influence on everybody else, and nobody took the fucking gig seriously.
So that's kind of place to work.
Oh man, if you're going to abuse your employer, which kids, you're
Your
out
kid is
there
watching.
listening in internet land.
Don't be like Steve. Wait.
Don't abuse your employer.
Do be like Steve.
At any rate, we had about run out our job, there at the old pizza in Rasta. And my roommate was hanging out with this dude who looked like Steve Buscemi's younger, smarmier used car salesman.
Wow.
Right, like down to a little like pencil thin mustache and like basically fucking
See, those
like
are the big
lipless
eyes.
on top, but
Yes,
with the big
guys.
yeah, and
In Adam Sandler movies.
Okay.
and he basically like he seemed to only survive on port wine, cheese, and scotch.
Poor
Wow.
guy,
It's like
dude.
all I didn't see the guy consuming like joints and cigarettes and cake, it was like it was his diet. And
Healthy guy.
and he was like getting ready to pack up to go to Arizona. And he was like, "Do you like your job?" And I'm like, "I'm pretty fucking over this job, dude. I'm pretty sure I am." He's like, "Have you fallen in love recently?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." He's all, "Get in the fucking truck."
This is the best like
know.
motivational speech ever.
What are you
Have you
doing?
fallen in love? No. Like your job? No. Get in.
Let's go.
Will anyone miss you?
Yeah.
If you
No.
Yeah,
don't-
I'm worried.
I know.
Hanging out in Mount Hood for the winter because I didn't really know what the fuck else to do. I
Yeah.
don't know. I can't ever like I sort of remember how I wound up in Oregon in the first place that particular year.
Who am
Anyway,
I?
kind of like it's a little hazy. It is. But yeah, so I got in the truck and we fucking went to Arizona, and we're outside of the fair site, and he's like, "All right, now you're gonna have to fuck you in the back of the truck, lay down, cover up, and don't say shit," And I'm like,
This is like the 80s.
"All right."
The border.
Yeah.
I don't remember this part at the beginning of the get in the truck conversation. The list was a lot shorter of what I needed to do or
And
not
are
have
you okay
done.
with
and
making
what
a
you do.
lot?
Like, huh? But yeah, so I spent the whole entire fucking show with 2 jobs and fucking just rip shit drunk and very visible without a pass. I did not have a pass. I made friends with the security guys right away and got fucking shit housed with them and hung out with them all the time, and nobody checked my pass
You
ever.
bet.
That's the magic pass. That's the like ultra VIP pass.
That's a big no-no.
So
Like,
how you
you're
got-
not supposed to do that shit. You're really not.
That was in Arizona.
Yeah, but in general, like the Renaissance Festival, if you're going to be there permanently and you're living in the campground where you're there every fucking, that's where your shit is for
Those
two
people
and a half
really know each other.
Is this like being a carny?
Yes,
But
it's old
you're-
fashioned carnies.
Okay.
But you're in a spot for way the fuck longer. Like a carnival is a weekend or 3
Yeah.
max, and a Renaissance there's like almost 40
There's-
permanent sites in the country. Like a lot of people live behind the booth of the booth. There's electricity and fucking showers in a handful of places.
Wow.
Fucking tent camping, vehicle camping, RV camping, and it's like a residence, your residence. You get mail there and shit.
That's
The one we're
hardcore.
going to next month is up for a month long. It's 4
Yeah.
weeks long.
Is that the
Mammoth,
one
right?
up in Washington?
No.
No, it's
Oh.
Mammoth. Mammoth, California, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Southern California.
Okay.
You know, in Southern
Uh,
California.
Up
And
in
the one in
mountains.
Minnesota is a month long. You betcha. You're
The one in Minnesota is
Close
2
enough.
months long,
2 months long.
8 weekends.
Yep.
In Shakopee,
Yep.
beautiful Shakopee, Minnesota.
My very first house was in Bloomington, Minnesota. And actually, my best friend from high school lives in Shakopee.
Shout out.
Huh?
Shout out.
Brian?
Shut
What
up.
up,
Brian
Brian?
Tunsanger.
And Shakopee, Minnesota.
What up, Shakopee? It'd be so awesome if someone from Shakopee is watching right now.
I
And they're like,
know.
yeah, that's me.
Holy shit, it's a wonder he sounds like he's from Minnesota. Yeah. Don't you know, hey?
I used to have a fucking coffee cup that I got at a thrift store in Shakopee, and it said Minnesota State Bird, and it had a mosquito on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, like Christy. Oh, this is hilarious because Christy's like up on our mountain. There's like 23 mosquitoes, give or take. And Christy's like, the mosquitoes are so bad. I got bit twice tonight. And like, oh my God. Like where we're from, the fucking things are hummingbirds. You're trying not to let them carry you off.
I'm kind of worried about the Alaska portion of my journey because I've heard the mosquitoes up there are like a whole another level of fucking horror.
They're little pterodactyls.
Yeah, and I have like the really natural bug spray, so I'm probably gonna need some DEET, I think.
Slather yourself.
Lindsay's just like, dump chemicals on me.
Please.
Alaskan mosquitoes only respond to small arms fires.
Yes.
What was
You're
that?
gonna need like a 22 clinker.
Just
and-
rub
yeah.
nukes on me.
Was it okay? Oh, it was like Karate Kid, wasn't it? Back in the 80s, the movie where like he goes as a like with a shower curtain. You could like build yourself your own little shower curtain with a
Yes.
mosquito net and walk
Net.
around like that.
And pretend it's my religion or
Yeah,
Or
something.
go like Damon Hall, and if you grow a proper beard,
Damon.
He
they
probably
will
would have
leave
hooked
you
you up with
alone
the right
because
bug
they're
spray
scared
too.
that you're
Probably does.
carrying
That's a good
small
point.
arms.
That'd be cool if Damon and I am gonna see Damon when I'm up there. But it'd be
Damon
cool,
Hall.
yeah. I know, I'm really
Oh.
excited.
Jealous. I want to meet him.
Yes.
But it'd be cool if him and Miranda could come up and hang out with me in Denali too, because
That would be.
they've probably been there a billion times, so I know. But I'm excited about Denali. I was told that I'm gonna get eaten by mosquitoes every time I step outside of my vehicle. So
Yeah.
I'm ready. I can take it. Bring it, Alaska. I mean, please, Alaska, be very nice to me.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
challenge
don't-
Alaska.
don't challenge
I would very much like to go to Alaska.
Mhm.
at some
Dude,
point
I
in
wish
time.
everybody could go up there with me. Like, I basically want to drag the whole world along. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm fitting in under your bed if there's like strange
Chrissy's already
knocking.
coming. Yeah. Sasha McDonald might come with me. She might meet me up in
Woo!
Alaska and do the ferry ride
Hi,
back down.
Sasha.
Drill some
Hi,
air
Sasha.
holes for me at the end of the drawer so
You'll be
that I
fine,
don't
yeah.
suffocate.
I didn't put any air
Otherwise,
holes in
nothing.
there. None.
Alone.
There's no air holes in there.
I put no air
She'll
holes.
suffocate.
Yeah.
I'll suffocate.
It was a plan.
Oh,
I
oh.
There's a gap.
It's like,
Wow.
I got you.
You knew I was
finally.
going, didn't you?
There's a gap.
There's a
There's a
gap.
gap.
And you can-
It's cool how it all came together. It's like perfect. Just need some snowboard
We're not gonna ask about that.
wax. That's for the fun.
Is this
time.
about tits again?
Yeah, we talked
It's not what I would use snowboard with.
No.
Just had to check.
Wow.
Wow.
I spent a lot of time in my lab. I'm not up on these things.
What are the kids doing these days?
Alchemy.
Which there's exciting news. I got all my stuff started. So here next week after I get home, we'll have a bunch of things posted.
For videos and
Yep.
Nice.
Yep, a lot of requests for doing basic alchemy.
Yeah.
Whole
So
lot
you-
of requests on
So
that.
you're like pre-recording teaching videos
You're
sort of
shaking
and
the
like
camera.
posting those.
You're shaking the camera. There you
clear over there, shaking. That is amazing.
They're
Yeah,
like,
I'm pre-recording, to try and
edited
get some
for-
stuff.
yeah.
Cause like, so I'm doing a full alchemy
That'd be
video where that's where the philosophy comes from. Cause there's different levels that you start out at, and medicinally, there's different levels that they're still useful, even though it's not the full philosophical alchemy. Cause like one of the gentlemen I was speaking to today, obviously not everybody has $4,500 to throw down on a fractional distillation setup.
no.
It's just not how it works. So there is other levels, and they're very functional and certainly more beneficial than what they're dealing with now. And it gets you working on the entire setup.
Yeah.
So
You're making it accessible to the people.
right.
Yeah.
So I've got a few videos like one of them that I'm doing that's very popular, that I'm getting a lot of requests for horsetail because there's so many problems with aluminum. And horsetail tincture, horsetail is the highest silica compound plant on the planet. And that's one of your 12 cell salts, and it's just packed with other good things. And then
Which
It's
was in that
good
book I
for-
was telling you about.
it's good for removing heavy metals.
Ah.
So I
So
went
we all
down
should
and
be
Chelating with that a little.
eating horsetail. I hear it actually
I'll
like
be eating the
kind of is like
horsetail.
asparagus.
Right. Yeah. It's a
I'm
water.
like, I eat that.
It's like marsh asparagus.
Because
Yeah.
you can
You know,
like
it all
fry it up
grows-
and eat it.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
The smaller shoots are pretty good to eat.
Yeah, because it gets woody.
Yeah. It
The
gets
older it
woody as it
gets,
gets
yeah.
older. And we had a nice wet year this year, so I went down to the river and already went down and at the full moon and picked pick the horse
So you're
tail.
doing it with the
and-
timing and everything.
Yep,
Like,
yep.
that's
So that
pretty
way
rad.
everybody gets to see it. So, you know,
Pretty
and
cool.
obviously I can't put that out on the live, so I've just got those recorded and then
That's perfect though, because
right.
it'll be more. Yeah, it'll be easy to control how it's parsed out.
And
or
then
whatever.
during the full moon, I went out and showed everybody how when it's a full moon, there's when you're talking about energy, one of the best things to look into is electricity. And electricity is basic energy, and how that moves and works is how all energy moves and works. And so you go out and you look, and the full moon, you know, a lot of people think it's like arbitrary that the moon's feminine and that the sun is masculine. But I went out during the full moon and went and showed my solar panels and went back into my solar controller setup and showed that that was pulling hard voltage, but there is no amperage to that whatsoever. Amperage electrically is the push, that's the masculine, and voltage is the feminine.
This is like you're showing electrically the masculine and
principles.
feminine properties of
Yes.
the moon and the sun.
So just, you know, and going out and actually showing people that, and
Pretty rad.
So by contrast, during the day, you get
masculine during the day. And then when you look at this from an alchemical standpoint, during the day you sweat. Anytime sunlight and heat hits an oil, it starts burning it off. You start losing your feminine essence, and your masculine starts building. This is part of the everything has a rhythm. And sometimes you're more masculine, sometimes you're more feminine in and of yourself.
It is,
And
sir.
It's sir. Bam. And so during the day, your oils burn off and you become more dehydrated. And then at night, you start building up them oils again. And that's why, like, right away in the morning, you're always really parched. Your body's building them oils back up. It's sucking it back out. So you need to start rehydrating. And during the day, you burn it off.
I love that Steve's political show has become
alchemical
a
show.
philosophy and spirituality show.
I
Steve's
have
like, I don't know what
fucking-
the fuck just happened.
No, if you notice though, like the people that I have on the podcast aren't necessarily to talk about politics. Like I do that with the live streams because
yeah.
you know
It is pretty cool.
it's fucking
I love Steve. This is part of the way that the Eyes Network works out good. Steve's the
beautiful thing.
political guy. I'm an anarchist, so obviously I'm not that. I will give some opinions just to talk with Steve, but it's not an area of interest. Steve is the expert by far, and
Yes.
Lindsay is the expert for talking to people and putting things together and interviewing.
I'm
I'm the alchemist.
I'm in the heads on pikes and general strikes or nothing fucking
I'm with him
changes
on that
camp.
one.
I
100%. We also live in a fucking cartoon.
the reason that I have a political show is to try and get people to fucking come along with me and figure out that it's all bullshit. And if we mobilize as people and come together, we can fucking achieve genuine change in the system instead of relying on people to do it for us, people that are paid by corporations to fucking behave, not to fucking represent.
Self-empowerment.
That was rolled out so beautifully.
Kinda
I know.
Steve's like an orator. This is why the
Take
clampers
one.
wanted you in that coffin.
We're leading Steve to the secret societies. He's gonna be sucking George Bush's dick in like a closet next year.
It's probably
In a
never
bathtub.
gonna happen. At least not in this version of the simulation.
That was the reality we collapsed when the Ben and Christie's like met. That's
Yes.
that's what that was for.
That was
Took
my
that out of
gosh.
existence so you don't have to go through that, Steve. You're
No
welcome.
more hand jobs for Dick Cheney.
Right.
Maybe for like $1 million. But then it's
She would
like
do really good things with that money.
There's a fucking universe where Ben identifies as like a fucking female anime fucking
Porn
like
AI doll.
half fucking robot, half kitten.
Yes. Yes.
And is really offended if you
and
don't
somehow
use
we're all still hanging out
its
here.
entire
doing
name.
this.
Oh shit. Oh.
There's
And
there's
I am
a fucking
absolutely useless.
there's a universe out there where Lee Chapman is a Code Pink member. Like,
Right.
fucking straight up. Yeah.
He's walking around with a pussy hat all day.
You guys, we need to stand up for women's rights.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lee
Why,
Chapman, I'm coming to your house soon.
why don't you like
Ciao.
Kamala Harris?
You misogynist. What do you mean you're not for the prison industrial complex and everything she did as a senator and her entire record? She's
Look,
a woman.
Look,
It's a vagina.
Cynthia
Magic.
McKinney brought up a really good thing when she was on, and that was Kamala Harris fucking had
Ooh,
the
she shit on
opportunity.
Kamala Harris.
Had the opportunity to reopen and look at Bobby Kennedy's murder and
Yep.
had people come forward with credible evidence, and it was presented to her as credible evidence, and she went, nah.
Nah.
No, I got some money
Nah.
from these people over here. So
I'm more interested
busy.
in locking up minorities and things
If
like
I
that.
do this, I go against the power structure that has rewarded me thus far. I can't, like, it's not in her to bite the hand that feeds her, even though that hand is fucking corrupt as fuck. You know, same with Elizabeth Warren.
But people really are like
It
wowed
wasn't
by
even,
the.
the messed up part is Warren was that she had to pretend to be a minority to get that. I mean, I'm just shocked that they would ever put her up for president after her, what was it, like 1064th native? What did one of your relatives like walk by an Indian and shake their hand? Like, holy
Enough.
smoke. Like, the majority of the country has at least that much Native American in them
Yeah.
because we live here and our people have mixed. It's the way it works. And so she doesn't have any percentage that's anything remotely close to where you would consider yourself. She is born and bred white American.
Can't get on the res.
And yeah, she certainly wasn't going to get any checks or be considered part of the reservation. And yet she was considered Harvard's first minority teacher. That's why she got the job. She got different grants for college, all
Harvard's
these things.
first female minority law professor.
The day her blood test came back, she should have been charged with all kinds of crimes
Fraud, yeah.
for committing fraud on the grants, on having the job that she had, all kinds of things. But she's still out there preaching, and you can't talk anything bad about her. And she's and even if she was, even if we took all that away, during the last around the last cycle, during Standing Rock, when all kinds of different tribes got together and went together to try and stop something, and they were being assaulted by police officers and everything else, Elizabeth Warren didn't have a damn thing to say.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So, like, even if you were trying to like identify with them, why wouldn't you stick up for the people you're
That was so
identifying with?
fucking sad that nobody like gave a shit. Regular people gave a shit. People came
Right.
together,
Until
but, like,
until the veterans
where were any of our
showed up,
leaders?
they were getting beat up daily, and then the vets showed up and they said, "Oh, well, if we hit one of these people, then a buttload more vets are going to show up armed."
because veterans are like our best
I
ally
helped
because they're
organize for
trained,
that.
they have been through it, so they know
This
how
is
the government is
fantastic group
bullshit,
here.
Yes.
and they're fucking ready to like use that training and that seeing through the government to sort. Not all of them, but
Right.
like there's a good chance that a veteran is your ally if you're.
Absolutely. Well, there's a
In our
reason
line
that
whatever.
veterans are all put on the terrorist watch list.
Yeah.
Like, because, and there's a reason that so many veterans just end up living out in the boonies and not talking to the government
they're
and
like, "Dude, this
everything.
is
They're like, we
crazier
know
than
how bad
anything
this
else."
shit is.
Yeah.
And anyone that talks to the three of you is on a government watch list.
Oh, for
I
sure.
mean,
Right.
I mean, like that's been true for I think all of us long before we even met
Yeah.
each other.
oh, for sure. But like anything that I had before
Now
I
that we
met
know
Ben
each
is now
other.
like broadly expanded.
I try to tell people, I'm like, my phone was tapped when I was like 20 something
Wow.
because I was organizing with communist, the RCP USA, and fucking anti-war shit and whatever. And I wasn't even
Ben, you're shaking
a
the
Revolutionary
camera.
Communist Party of the United States of America. I was never officially in it. I just worked alongside that group. So I wasn't even very high up, but as soon as I started working with them, I had done like anti-war protests and other sorts of organizing before that a little bit. My sister way more so. And she got involved with them. And then I got sort of like involved in the side. But even that low level involvement, my phone was very clearly tapped.
Isn't it
And there was
weird
like,
that
I learned how to spot the fucking plants and the like. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like they think they're being smooth, but a fucking cop will come up to you dressed as a plainclothes person and be like, "Hello, sister in arms. I am here because I support revolution. What's your real name?" Hi, dude. Like, you're fucking.
Wow.
Go away.
I also smoke the marijuana.
Yeah,
would you sell me some?
It's
Right?
like that. And we used our fake names, so they're trying to like get our, but they knew who we were. And my phone was fucking weird. And that was a long ass time ago. So
Wow.
Sure, it's gotten worse
Isn't that
since
kind of
then.
weird that so many of the anti-war people here go communist, as if communists were anti-war ever?
It's really weird that I
So,
like was so sucked into that like worldview, and now I so clearly see through it. But like the promise of coming from severe poverty and the promise of like, oh, this is a way to fix the inequality that is so clear. Like the world is fucking lopsided, and here's how we're gonna solve it. And I was like, that makes sense, because how can you ever go back to something rational when it's so fucking lopsided? Like the people with money are not even in this universe practically, and like how do you like write that?
By making everybody poor and still a couple
No, I
people
know,
super
but
rich?
that's not how it was sold to me. And this is why they'll never kill us, because they're like, no, these people are fucking crazy. Like, watch them.
No one takes them
I'm like,
seriously.
these guys aren't serious. What the fuck?
Whatever, we're the most entertaining show no one knows about.
Right?
I did though, and now I'm like,
I still genuinely don't know. I mean, anti-war has never been a communist like
no, but that's
point.
you get
So I don't
this is the thing,
understand
you
why
get
so
sold
many
the promise of like everything will be better once we do this, and you start to then ignore all of the like irrational
right.
shit. So you're like, no, let's ignore that it's never worked, and let's ignore that just fucking people die by the masses. And once we like implement this shit, and like, I get the thing where like we've never done real communism. We haven't. If you look at real communism, like the definition
Like the Hutterites
of
or the Amish do.
and the definition of anarchism and the definition of even fucking like ultimately libertarianism, you end up in the same fucking spot, right? You end up where you have communities of people taking care of each other, and you don't have a centralized authority over those people. So like those ideals are beautiful. Let's all like aim for that. Who cares what the fuck you call it?
A Soviet is an independent collective. That's all a Soviet is.
So like I'm down with Soviets then.
Like as a what is that? I don't know, like as a society, like not as a person.
We're talking about tits again.
Not as a set of titties, but as
like how big can the
many
areola
titties.
be before it's too big?
How many titties are too many?
What are you doing, guy?
She's trying to light this place on fire.
Like
Yes.
nobody watching anymore.
I crash cars. I burn houses down.
She's the plant. Oh.
Right.
It's the slow game.
Right.
The ultimate slow game.
Right. Fucking sleeper cell and shit.
We all just get activated into MK Ultra like terror or something.
Everyone, like I'm not the most obvious plant.
I feel like if somebody were to try to MK Ultra me, the amount of psychedelics that they would have to use, to get a fucking reaction, let alone obedience.
Have you ever seen
no,
Red?
he's broken. It doesn't
movie
work
Red?
with him.
You ever seen the movie
I
Red?
think so.
Fucking with John Malkovich and Bruce Willis. He's like, he thought that the government was giving him acid every day for 11 years. Oh, they were. Oh, he's doing pretty good then.
Yeah, dude. I mean, can you really imagine? Like, we're going to program your thoughts, guy. Here's 60 mics. I'm gonna nap now.
You and I,
know,
and I
like,
could probably break the system.
there's like, dude, this is Santa Cruz County. There's a lot of people in these hills that could break the fucking.
Yeah, we are
you
not
know?
the ones that they try for. That's why they send heavily armed sheriffs after us, and they don't
Right.
even try. They're like,
Right.
no,
With no
no.
sirens.
There's a Bene
None.
Gesserit or
If-
whatever.
if
And
you've
what's it
had-
called?
yes.
The Quetzat Haderach.
Yes, if you have ever seen Dune, when the son of Muad'Dib, when they capture him and flood him with spice essence, and then they're trying to kill him and drive him crazy with it, he just sits up, drinks a bowl. He's like,
Got
it can no
more.
longer harm me. Like,
I thought that was a girl child.
no, that's in the
Oh,
very
okay.
first Dune. So in the first Dune, that's when it's Muad'Dib. So this is, and I am very into Dune. Like, there are so many parallels that you can draw with.
Well,
Dune.
I don't
It's
see
just
gender
ridiculous.
anyway. So.
But then in the second, so he does. So
Clear.
so Muad'Dib takes over and starts an entire galactic war, and basically it turns his people into something that they were fighting in the first place. And he ends up just going off. His wife dies and has twins. He ends up going off into the desert because he's like, fuck you people, because they all turned his message into shit. He's like, Muad'Dib's words are water on the sand, you know,
just
like
starts
goes
drinking
nuts. Right.
heavily.
Tonight
Yeah,
on
like-
Slow News Day, Benjamin Balderson recounts.
Yes.
And then
But then in the second one they capture his son and they take and flood him with spice to try and drive him crazy, and he, like, after it he becomes so imbued with it that he, like, transcends all that
so
shit.
his two kids transcended time and space through
Right.
spice over
Right,
consumption.
over everything.
We're
And,
learning
like,
something here.
yeah, and he sits up, he's like, it
You
can
do
no
have
longer harm me.
twins, Ben.
That would be Steve. He'd be like, sit up and just like drink a vial of liquid acid. I am of the acid. It can no longer harm me.
They all just quit
he
immediately.
just immediately channels Hunter Thompson. You know, he could just on command get S. Thompson to come and do things to help him.
I was like,
Start
Steve, I'm gonna
shaking
give
down
you...
the lab techs for their cocaine. Tip one upside down. You know you got drugs on you, you son of a bitch. Fucking empty your pockets, you motherfucking swine. It's there. I know it's there. I can fucking taste it.
I was explaining to Steve that I'm going to give him a bunch of kratom, but that there may or may not be like mushroom mixed in with it. And he's like, man,
Did you
just
hear?
like, take it, whatever, it'll be fine. Like, rad.
You know, one minute I'm just feeling no pain, and the next minute I'm, you know.
Feeling more less pain than no pain. And
It's
shit's
actually
fucking
a really
and,
good day.
and the lights are really cool.
Everything is suddenly in focus, and I care a little bit more about people.
I was listening to
Fuck it, I'll try that.
a show with
Yeah.
The Last Crow with Phoenix Willis. Was that what it was on? He was talking about kratom and how taking and doing the kratom alchemically is just insane. That people are really gonzo over that. That it has an extreme
I guess.
effect.
Pain
I
relief.
guess when it's extracted, yeah. I don't know if I want to fuck
But
with that.
not extracted. But when you, because the thing that people don't understand
It's
is,
not like
when
getting
you
them high,
when
it's
you
like
just
the
do
acid.
the extraction, all you're pulling is the oil.
Yeah.
In the oil. So like everybody realizes, so when you boil food and they say you're boiling the nutrition out of it, but you're not. You're not boiling the nutrition out of the body. You're pulling the oil from the body, just like making tea. We all know that that's making tea. So what it's doing is pulling the feminine essence out of the plant body. So what the feminine essence does is unlock the masculine salts. So what you've done is taken away the key and made the salts, so they're no longer bioavailable.
That was a long walk.
You got lost along the way.
I don't remember what the original point of
I
that
was like, where did we start?
I know.
Ben's like,
That was
duh.
a great explanation, baby.
Duh.
And that's how you build a platform in a van.
And that was our
On a
day.
7-year-old's birthday.
Thanks for tuning into this old house. I'm Bob Vila. Go fuck yourself.
And this is Casey signing off.
And I'm Martha Snoop Dogg.
Martha Snoop Dogg say?
It's
Oh.
chamomile, bitch. Shizzle my dizzle.
Chamomile, bitch.
Or we can go with the Mike
Are there
Tyson
people
girl.
still watching this?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
marijuana.
like 5 people are watching.
Hi,
now,
5
dude.
people.
Like 5 people watching right
Hi, Jacob.
Yeah.
now. Right, and I'm pretty sure Jacob's one of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Janae's another.
it's like
If you discount my
This
house
is what our
and the
parents do
fucking
when they divorce,
NSA,
when we
we
go to-
got 1 viewer. Thanks, 1 viewer who is
You're
not
our
the
favorite
NSA
viewer.
or my family.
If that NSA person just has a job, they might love us. They might be like, "Go, guys."
I haven't
Yeah.
told any of my people that this is going on yet.
There's a dude at the NSA right now who has a new tab open and he's ordering a custom fucking t-shirt that says Odin's Alchemy on one side and chamomile bitch on the
Please make like chamomile alchemy something and then call it chamomile bitch.
chamomile
No, I
bitch.
think you need to put the Snoop Dogg part in there
Like-
too.
And the
Not
fucking
Snoop Dogg.
the people stop talking in the chat like a fucking half an hour.
They're like, this is too
Fuck
weird.
this, man. I don't know what's going on anymore.
One person was just asking about the debates, which none of us had a slightest clue. Like,
And
Okay.
off on nothing
there
for
was
an
20 jackasses.
I'm gonna go make
Every one of them pandered for all they were worth. I heard that for some reason there was a lot of pandering to the Mexican population this time.
That was Beto. That was yesterday. And I guess he
Beto.
did such a bad job of it that
Did
the
he-
actual Hispanic dude on the stage, Julian Castro, like cut him down.
Oh no!
And I mean, the dude's not even he's a fake Mexican. Like his name's Bobby Franny, Robert Francis O'Rourke. Fucking, you look more Mexican. Then he
so we've
is.
got a white Mexican, a white Indian,
Uh-huh.
fucking
Oh,
Corey Davis, who I don't even know what
And-
the hell that
and,
guy is.
A Jamaican Indian running as an African American, and Kamala Harris.
What the
Oh,
fuck is happening in
shit.
2019? Dude, I just want to know if Beto O'Rourke like bounced out on a pogo stick or not.
Dude, like, did you see Beto O'Rourke's new plan where anybody that goes, so if any new war, the people that pay for the war are going to be the ones that don't, the households that don't send soldiers are going to get a special tax because they didn't get sent off,
Wow.
their kids
Did
didn't
we
go to
not
war.
do that already?
Yeah.
That's a fucking thing we did.
It fucking,
worked real
dude,
well.
straight up, like, have you seen Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
Where to be a citizen you have to have served and
yeah.
all that shit, and the same thing in like China.
Yeah.
China, you have to serve for so many years. There's a lot of
There's
countries.
a lot of countries
You
you
know
have
that
to, or
this,
you're
you
like,
know
yeah.
that that's coming.
Yeah.
If you want to be a good citizen, you got to serve, and they're already doing well. If you don't
We're
serve,
gonna have social fucking crediting, and we're gonna
You
have
bet.
that shit. It's just gonna be all locked
and
down.
and it's going to go back to like back then where the only ones that can afford not to go to war are the rich ones because they can afford not to be citizens because they just pay their way.
I
to
love
do
that Christy is
everything.
our surrogate.
Such a beautiful surrogate.
She is such a beautiful surrogate.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're fucked. That's a short end. Unless
I
heads
don't
on
think so.
pikes, general strikes.
Personally, I'm of the opinion, and I'm obviously the only one in the group probably, but Magic is returning.
No, you're not
And,
the only one. That's actually my whole shtick too.
Yeah,
I just like I gotta like sometimes be like, oh, we're living in this dimension and this is where your mind is at, so this is what we're gonna talk about. But in reality, I'm like, it's far beyond all of that.
reality is
Yeah.
such a fluid thing. Like the way I see time, like time does not work like what people think it does.
It fucking
things,
doesn't.
and things just consistently restart. It's like Groundhog Day, only everything's not always the same. There's a progression, and you can change that progression. This is why you end up with shit like the Mandela effect. Everybody
Yeah.
thinks that somebody did like some huge thing to change it. Nah, society can do that all on its own. Every day is a new fucking day. and everything just keeps resetting and recycling. All the damn salts are always the same. All the oils are always the same. Everything that's been here has already been here.
And I
already
think
been something.
despite all that aluminum bullshit trying to shut down our genetic memory and our memory, like you were talking about, like shit is coming back anyway. People are waking up, and this is why they're fucking.
But that's
losing
why
their
they're doing.
minds.
That's why they're working so hard at it. Why they're just flooding
And
the
it's
skies,
not-
because we're moving into a time period where that stuff becomes more active.
And it's not just like
You know,
because like
we're-
we found each
the
other and it's
pendulum
more
effect.
apparent to me. It's like that's happening. Like there's less people watching mainstream news than ever before.
Absolutely.
You know, like their ratings are plummeting.
Mainstream
And,
news is what?
and
Well,
that's
so
just, yeah,
here's the
and that's
thing,
just one
though.
indicator.
Podcasts, a good podcast has more viewers than the top mainstream news.
Right.
Here's
I
the
was
thing,
just
though.
questioning
What
the term news.
Right,
sucks about that? Like, okay,
I was saying that for them.
Mint Press News, which is an outlet that I adore, and as far as reporting goes, they do what journalists are supposed to do, which is piss a lot of people off.
Yeah, that is what journalists are supposed to do. It's your main job.
They did. They ran a story about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. 72% of Americans know that, like, mainstream and cable news is bullshit. They know that. They know that. But here's the problem, though. They go to Vox or
Yeah.
Vice or
They're not considering that
fucking
mainstream.
Breitbart or Reason
Who is
or
still
fucking
mainstream.
you know, and all that shit. And just because, or the Young Turks, you know, like, so yeah, dude, because
And
just
they'll be very
because
proud
you're
of themselves for being like, I
for
thought you were
watching
hearing it.
independent media.
Independent.
No, man, fucking Vice is owned by Comcast and NBC,
Wow.
and they're fucking
Even the liberals that are so about PBS owned by the Koch brothers.
Yeah.
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 For
Do
a-
you really think they're saying something
For a
against
while.
big business?
Dude, it was about like 2003 or so that shit started to like tank for, because PBS used to be okay, and like what's that shit, fucking Pacifica, or like not Pacifica,
well,
NPR?
no, Democracy Now.
Democracy
Like
Now,
that
yeah,
used to be
yeah,
good
yeah.
too.
yeah.
Like there was shit that was good, and it just
Well,
like got
they got
clamped down on shit.
what's his name, Juan Gonzalez. NPR did after he got fired from I think Fox. I think they gave him a job on Fox, and he was like too liberal for Fox, and Democracy Now gave him a job, but he's straight up Mockingbird Media. Like, he's fucking 100% asset, and he's been with Democracy Now for 9 years or something like that. When the reauthorization of the NDAA happened and propaganda got legalized, and we saw this influx of fucking retired generals and fucking oh, I'm Michael Hayden, I just stepped down as director of the NSA, now I'm on every fucking news network, and I'm Bill Maher's buddy all the time. Like, if you've got Chief Spook disseminating narrative and as a paid fucking expert, you know, why, and he's on every channel, like, how is that not going to become part of somebody's political ideology if you're watching Michael Hayden or fucking James Clapper or John Brennan on Rachel Maddow's show, you know, or Chris Hayes' show, or fucking on their quote unquote like news programs, you know, like, that's, I mean, that's why you see people like the Communist Party in the USA being part of the anti-war movement, because what they are is against the American war machine, against the American empire. And while
It's true.
communists
We're very
themselves are
anti-empire.
not anti-war in practice,
Right.
you know,
We're
what
definitely pro
what
war.
a
not
communist
that war.
party can be is an anti-empire party, anti-American empire
Right.
party. So there's not, the cross purpose isn't,
But
they're not anti-war. The cross purpose is they're against the
But the problem is this is the same problem that we're having anyways. So all these people today that are anti-system and anti-government also are not about taking the responsibility to themselves. They're like, yeah, the government sucks. Government, fix it.
Yeah.
Is there something fucking wrong with you people? Like, holy shit. Like, what this is just like when the cops go and investigate themselves and they're like, you know what, we investigated ourselves and we didn't find anything. You know, like,
Independent
like
investigation.
Yeah,
by
you
us
cannot
about
go
us.
to the same people that screwed it all up and say, now you people make it all better and make it all for us and it'll be great for us. Quit doing it all for you. Like, they aren't going to do it. You have to reset that, get rid of all those people. And then you're just getting rid of the whole government. And then you're moving down to the only reason that communism works in any way is when, and I do agree in some situations, like I've lived around Hutterites and Amish, and they are the pure definition of communists.
Yes.
And it works for them. They have very nice little communities. And they have their weird quirks. Do not get me wrong, but who doesn't?
They're also the pure definition of anarchy. None amongst them is like a ruler.
Absolutely.
They're like, you may assume a leadership.
Well, there's an
role
elder. There's
for a
an
time.
elder. There's an elder.
But it's not like
Right.
automatic.
Oh no!
Like, right?
Oh
right.
no!
So,
Oh
like,
no! No, you are wrong about that.
Am I?
I've seen they
like
get
you
kicked.
become an elder and you're an elder forever. And
No,
everyone has
well,
to do
until
what
you
say?
die, basically, and then
Okay. I stand corrected.
they make some wicked rules. Like they're authoritarian. Do
Okay.
not get me wrong. Like
I'm wrong.
you do not. That's why the Amish have that whole thing where they can leave the colony for like a year.
Something Springer.
Yeah, and then they get to
Young
go.
Springer.
Yeah, and then they get to go check out and see if they want to live. Because if you want, you can either live out there or you can live in here. But if you live in here, you do it like we do.
So you gotta go check it out, compare it, and see.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. You're right.
You know, in the hut, yeah, because there's where I'm from, there's Hutterite colonies everywhere.
Okay, but at the basis of anarchy, wouldn't that be because you chose
Oh, it
to be
would.
part of
It
that
would.
community?
That
So,
is a good.
yeah,
That is,
okay.
but there's still a very structured rule
authoritarian.
system. There's an authoritarian system where an anarchist.
That
now,
is a trip that you can be authoritarian and like still fit under anarchy and like that situation, but
well,
only
but it's because it's a
subset.
small subset
Yeah.
where these
and because they're
all of
religion.
these
Yeah.
concepts basically fall apart when you start trying to get a large mass of people, because it's fairly easy to get
That's why
30
that
like
decentralized-
minds together. Getting 100 like minds together, much harder. Getting 1,000. Now look at some of the size of these cities. 1,000 people is a tiny city.
The city's pretty good. What is this, 6,000 or something? 4,000?
No, it's more than that. It
It's
really
Boulder
is.
Creek's big. You just can't
Oh.
see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and I mean, in
It's all hidden
terms
in
of
the
like
I just-
people that
there was
actually
a
hang
sign
out
that
and
said, like,
contribute
4,000.
to the community, yeah,
They don't count
there's not a
all
lot.
the 1,000
actual-
people
The
that live
unincorporated.
like
But-
right here.
Okay.
Yeah,
But that's the thing is we need decentralized
Right.
like nodes of
Yes. And
You
that
work
and no matter
together,
and
but,
no
like,
matter
this is
what,
your
and in each node, some of those nodes are going to be democratic. Some of them they're just going to be like an anarchy thing. Some of them are probably going to pick a leader or a chief, and it's going to work for those little
Some of
groups. And
them-
if you don't
Basically,
like
what
your
we
group,
need
you
is
leave
some sort of
and move to a
like
different group.
federation of where we trade with one another
Exactly.
for the basis of
For
further exploration and innovation,
Yes.
not money, but the betterment of ourselves and the societies that we encounter in our gay luxury space communism.
yes.
After we
After we
harness
all
the
suck rainbow
dilithium crystal
fairy dicks.
energy and fucking. When I say
True,
gay
it's true.
luxury space communism,
It means happy.
I mean,
It's
finally,
ma'am.
finally, well appointed, nicely decorated. Like I imagine
There-
brunch would
When
be
I say
involved
gay,
at
I
some
think of-
Are
point.
we gonna
You know.
start dressing that? Steve?
I don't mean like
Are we gonna go Metro? We'll start dressing.
I don't mean
Leotards are
we're
bust.
booking pedicure appointments or anything like that. What I
I'll
mean
get
is
up the
that
grinder.
we'll probably
Don't
get the
knock
fucking
pedicures.
avocado toast out of the replicator.
Nice.
You know, that's what I mean.
I would like some.
I had my first
toast.
avocado toast, and it was like sourdough, and it was grilled, and it had
Oh,
avocado
yes.
mash on it, and it had balsamic reduction and goat cheese.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, this is the fucking
Okay,
best
so
thing
then
I've ever
put-
had. Yeah.
Fresh sliced tomatoes and a little
Yum.
Himalayan salt on
Motherfucking
that.
heirloom tomato on that shit.
Basil.
Dude, you could just have a store where you sell toast.
Yeah.
I'm not even high. This is just a thing that
I
I need in
know.
my life.
Yeah.
Man, I need some walnut bread.
Walnut bread.
Holiday month.
Oh, there's some sourdough walnut bread out of the Truckee sourdough.
Fucking
Oh, that's
walnut
right.
bread.
Yeah, Truckee Sourdough Company. Plug.
Oh, I thought you were saying in your truck right now. You have
No.
that. I'm like,
Yeah, I
why
wasn't
isn't it
trying to
right
plug them,
here?
Man, that walnut bread is sourdough bread.
I would give
Oh,
a shout
it
out
is.
to the Northbound Coffee Roasting Company.
Yeah.
I would. Mount
Yes.
Shasta, right there.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee, so I don't know.
But I do. And
I
it's
cannot
good.
vouch.
I don't have any shots.
Oh gosh, there's so many to give, but that's not what this is all
I already gave all the ones that matter.
Oh,
Right,
good.
I think
right.
No, you don't all matter.
you all matter. Shout out to everyone.
And to the whole Eyes Open crew. We love
Yes.
you guys.
That's true.
And the Crow crew.
That's true.
Love you
Unite
guys
the
too.
tribes, Brett. Like Brett says.
Yes.
I love
I
that.
I think that's happening fairly nicely.
For like
Oh,
the
yeah.
people who, there's some melding. I love it.
Absolutely. I see so many eyes names in the Crow forum.
They're
You
both-
bet.
mhm.
Honestly, they're some of the more active people in there.
Absolutely.
As
Nice contributions.
you betcha. Yeah, it's been fantastic,
Yeah.
and I think that's just going to keep snowballing. We just picked up Derek Murphy, excited to see what he's going to do.
So excited. God,
You
that's
You
where
know,
you're at.
I'm not sure if he's just going to come on and just like show his hair, like, hi,
That's enough.
I'm Derek Murphy, and this is my hair. like-
We both have like that.
Um,
Because we love Derek. Derek needs to be here. It's a sad
Where
day.
is Derek?
And Boston.
He's coming.
Boston.
So next
Something
year
like
at the
that.
Eyes Open meetup, it's going to be at I don't know if it's going to be Free Your Mind or some conference over on the East Coast. Then we'll get Derek time.
I've
Okay.
never, except for stopping in New York and Philadelphia, I have never done much time in the East
Me too,
Coast.
me
I
either.
would definitely like to go check that out. Michael Wan's over there. Maybe meet up with
Hell
him
yeah.
also.
Isn't
Pretty
John?
rad.
Isn't John East Coast?
Person?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's somewhere over there too.
I thought John's down
Virginia or
south.
something. I
Yeah,
thought,
John's
maybe.
further south, I thought.
It's still East
East,
Coast.
yeah. We're way over here. They're way over
Virginia's
I
there.
mean, he may not be on the coast.
like
coast, but
Richmond's like
Lee's
an
over
hour,
there.
hour and a half from DC. DC's 2.5 hours.
The East Coast is
to
tiny
New
compared to like
York.
California. Like I
New
just drove
York's-
the
or
most of the
DC,
coast of
Boston's like
California.
4
It took
hours on
forever.
the
It
train.
like to be
And
like
that's not even most of
17
the coast.
states.
You're only like, I don't know, close, not even close
That's
to
true. I'm
halfway
like in
down.
mid. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
no,
was
you're not
fucking-
even halfway
California
Jesus.
goes from the top of fucking New
California
Hampshire
is
down
so
to like
huge.
South Carolina.
It's gigantic. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like
Yeah.
Most,
So that'll be really weird for the road trip to like have that to compare to
But
this.
you know, I have to
most
say,
states
like,
you can
last
drive
year-
across in about 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours. You can clear the state either way. California, you can for 14 hours just keep driving and driving and
Still
driving.
in California.
Still in
You know,
California.
But
Still in
that's funny because
California.
last year when we took our trip back to South Dakota, and I had never driven across the country like that before, and it sort of was surprised at how many of those states took so long to get through. And of course, maybe that's just because they were flat and
Yeah.
like,
She was bored.
are we
Well,
ever gonna get
Like
through these
Utah, you
cornfields?
blink
I
and
talked
you're
to you.
through Utah.
Yeah.
You get
Yes.
not going south though.
Through Utah? Well,
Not
yeah, that's
going.
just because of the mountains. It's not like
No, I mean,
big,
no, but
you're just
still, I mean,
going
you get
slow.
west of the Mississippi, the states get fucking much bigger comparatively. You can go through 14 states from Georgia and not hit the top of the country.
Isn't it funny though? It's like we
Yeah.
got here and we were like, "This is my taste. Like, this is mine.
Right,
This
but-
is mine."
but
And then we
even-
got like
even
further
the
west, and they're
Midwestern
like, "I don't
states,
know, just
like
take
Nebraska.
that shit."
Nebraska's
Yeah.
about the
That
biggest
whole
Midwestern
chunk
state.
is yours.
You know,
Yeah.
for land
Deal
size.
with it.
And it takes about 5 hours east-west to go in Nebraska east-west. That's a big state
It
for the
takes, like-
Midwest. It takes forever to go from Northern California
Oh,
all
yeah,
the way
yeah.
down south.
Yeah.
It is so huge.
We got philosophy, geography,
I mean, no, it's not like
politics.
the New England states that are like little pinpricks.
Doing pretty
just
good.
little
Travel.
tiny
They
things.
travel, yeah.
That was
Just
like
throw
in the
when I was in
mix.
Europe,
How long
you get
did
on
you
a
get across
train
the
and one day you can go to
dimensional-
like 7 countries and actually visit things.
Whatever this is.
You know,
Dimensional this.
Stop in Switzerland, go to the Coup Clock factory, go to the little spoon place and the Swiss Army knife place, roll on out, go to the House of the Army.
Spoon factory.
I didn't set the tour up, bro.
Spoon
I
factory.
didn't set the tour.
I think this is Ben's way of inviting you to spoon later.
Yeah, would you like to
All,
spoon?
all good. I'm probably gonna, but not with.
Not on camera?
with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I like my dumb.
All right. If I
Alright.
have any subscribers left.
They're all like, well, I liked him before, but this got
Yeah,
weird.
the little bitty spoons that are silver. Apparently, they're a big deal.
Coke spoons?
Yeah, dude. Like they started.
No, I know what
little
you're talking about.
bitty
People
coffees with
collect,
them. Yeah, they
Collect
collect
spoons.
them and
Like-
everything.
like
people
It's
collect
a
thimbles,
big
people
deal.
collect spoons.
and they're like this big, and they're
Yeah.
So
And
there's
the
a
ones
spoon
in
factory
Switzerland are
apparently.
Cocaine.
Yes.
Or like
I
a
mean,
thing.
that's not
Like
why I
it's
like
a
house
thing?
lights.
It's a thing.
It's
It's
a
a
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
When you
No,
go to
it's- they're
cities
for, like-
and countries, you
And
go
they
get a
hang them
little
on the wall.
spoon and a little thing. And
Okay,
it
I
says,
want
it
to
has
say
a big
I've seen
emblem.
some shit like
So
that.
everyone will know where you
My
live.
mom had
Yes.
plates.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Right.
She had like
I inherited some of my grandma's.
she had some shit that said like handmade in occupied Japan.
Wow.
Oh my
Right?
god!
Like Japanese painted, like
wow.
while the fucking Americans were there, handmade in occupied Japan.
Wow.
Wow.
Fucking
Interesting.
Ruby, dude. That's fucking with you on your fucking dinnerware, right?
Wow.
We are slave. What was that like? Some like I saw on the internet, and I'm sure this is fake or something, but like on some clothing line, one of the workers was sewing in there, like
Please free me.
yeah, like we are only paid like 12 cents an hour or something like that. Like
that's true. But whether or
Right.
not someone wrote that on a thing and like
right.
someone
Yeah,
like
that's the
that,
part I
that's
was questioning
yeah.
whether this actually happened. Not that there isn't basically sweatshop slave labors.
That's where we get our spoons.
Exactly. All them little Swiss kids,
All those Swiss.
You just
labor
got to
camps.
yodel and little dumb shits come running, and
I'm
then you just
pretty
grab them
sure
by the little things.
that the sweatshops
wish I could
aren't in
yodel, though.
Switzerland.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's
All
not
of
little
them.
Swiss kids.
No,
So
I don't think that little Swiss kids are brown enough
that's
to
true.
be exploited at the level
They're
that
blonde and
like
they're
Wasn't
Right,
that the
you
lady
can't do
from
shit.
The Sound of Music that just got caught in that MV thing with their tattoo?
Shut up, Julie
and the
Andrews.
sex-
I thought she was dead.
It was a joke. I was
Oh, I was like,
totally
what the
kidding.
fuck is that?
So kidding.
Dude, I believe it.
So
This shit is
kidding.
fucking fucked up.
Julie Andrews, she's like the most wholesome, Mary Poppins and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck
We were
yeah.
into a feminist sex
I
cult.
should not have done that. I didn't mean for it to land. Oh,
You've ruined her forever.
I know.
Is she dead though?
I don't know, but she
so.
was.
I don't know. I don't follow that kind of stuff.
But yeah, I don't know.
But she's definitely not in a
But
sex
she was
cult.
not that was the
No.
chick for
Definitely
the
not.
girl,
That's
the
Joe
blonde
Biden.
girl from Small Girl. That was like
I
Watches
just-
branding
Hillary eat
other-
babies.
I
like
hate it.
branding. No, they were like doing the sex
Weird.
slave thing with the branding people and stuff.
Nexium.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was
shit's
that was the
whack.
girl from
The most fucked up-
Smallville or whatever.
The most fucked up thing about that is that no one knows.
Right, like that. Well, that's because the media, and this is it doesn't matter whether you're Republican, Democrat, anything in between. If it is coming to you on the TV or any type of a corporate large media, and it's not some jackass like this guy talking, who ain't getting paid. Look at this. Does he look like he's paid? He is in a secret society.
I do like that shirt. You're
Like
talking
if,
about Rasta, and I was like, the shirt.
if it's not
Rasta,
from
like,
somebody
Rasta
like that,
person?
that obviously
it's a
is.
Chicago Blackhawks shirt.
I don't know what that even means.
It's
dude.
hockey. Did you not see the hockey?
Well, what they
sticks?
are is they're like this minor league team that sometimes tries to
talking
play
trash.
the Avs and then
That's
gets
really
the
weird
hell
one,
stomped out of them. I did watch hockey at one point in time.
When
Is
you
that
lived
the
in
real
Minnesota,
time?
don't you like have a regulation about so many hours you have to spend watching?
Yeah,
hockey?
I am from
You get kicked out.
Yes.
exactly. God, in Minnesota, if you literally
say
go
it.
there
I
one
know.
what yes, I know. Look in California, feeling Minnesota. If you go there and watch high school hockey, it is like professional hockey. I mean, they are smashing each other at 50 miles an hour into the boards. It is insane.
That's pretty rad.
I love it when he drops into Old Man South Dakota.
For the
like,
record, Julie Andrews is still alive.
Yay, Julie Andrews, good job.
Still kicking.
You did it.
And
Who is probably a
not
very
in the
lovely
Nexium
lady.
sex cult.
Not in a known
No,
sex cult,
absolutely not. Probably a very wonderful person.
To
At least I
our-
hope.
To
I
the
do
best
too.
of our knowledge, Julie Andrews,
Dude.
not in a sex cult.
Although I do have a story. Like,
When people start talking shit about Mr. Rogers, I get really sad because
what? Who
Sorry, I
talks
just,
shit
like-
about Mr. Rogers?
sorry, I just
talk
like
shit about
beelined
Mr.
into that, but like Julie Andrews made me
Who's
think.
talking shit about
People were
Mr.
saying
Rogers?
Mr. Rogers was like a fucking I don't forget what they were saying, but I was like, shut the
Well,
fuck
fuck
up.
them.
I don't need to blackpill on that one. I want
No.
to remember him as a very kind old man. I think they were just saying he was in the military.
He
and that's-
He was.
Okay, but like that doesn't
Like
make
he
him
was
a bad
covered.
guy.
That's part of why he always wore a sweater, because he was covered in old Marine tattoos,
It's so
and he didn't
sweet.
want that.
Yeah.
He didn't want that
'Cause he
to
wanted
be,
to help
you know,
the children.
exactly.
He raised
Oh man!
me.
And did you ever see the thing in front of Congress where he went in and got the money to maintain PBS when they went to shut down
No.
PBS? Oh my God!
Yeah.
See,
It is one of the most heart-touching
keep faith in
speeches.
Mr. Rogers.
I
So,
mean, don't get me wrong. Anything like
he gets like $6 million in 1960 something money, in like 7 minutes, 6.5 minutes, and he fucking rolls out like a poem from his show at a congressional hearing
Because he's so
Dude,
fucking
because
sweet.
he's Fred fucking
Yes.
Rogers.
yeah,
That's
Stop
why.
talking shit about Mr. Rogers.
that dude. That
Don't burst that bubble.
Yeah.
Julie Andrews,
I like
not in a
that
sex
bubble.
cult. Mr. Rogers, above reproach.
exactly.
Word. We cleared the air here tonight. I feel good about what
These
we
are a
said.
few
Take
of
away
my
anything from this
favorite
show. Remember that.
things.
Jesus, man.
This has been the best.
Wow. All right, we should probably wrap on that fucking mayhem.
You could
Thanks,
have
guys.
actually
Thank
stopped
you.
recording like an hour ago. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
noticed.
I wouldn't even known. This has been the best. This is like the best start to my journey ever. I am so blessed to know you fools.
Love these
All
guys.
the love. It's the best. Thank you.
It is.
Thanks to the one listener out there who
Right. And thanks to Agent Smith from the NSA.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
tip of the hat to you, sir.
Don't worry, bro. You and I'll have it out soon.
Good luck to us all.